Alright guys, and welcome back to more Dangan Ronpa. We are about to pretty much go through this non-stop debate, and I have a good clue that I'm pretty sure we gotta present. I'm pretty sure we have to present what Nagito mentioned earlier about him teleporting or whatever. So let's go ahead and do this. Because basically he's saying, how did I get between the strawberry and the grape house when the elevator was out? Aha!
That elevator was the only means of travel between the two houses.
There's another means.
As long as that elevator was broken,
There's another mean.
your assumption collapses.
Plus, the elevator was broken at Grape House.
Yeah, they didn't give me
Not
Nagito.
return to Strawberry House.
I don't know what to say now.
Since I was at Strawberry House at that time, there's no question that the following crime is impossible.
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
Not an accomplice.
Or if there was a secret passageway.
Ah, there we
How
go.
much longer do you plan
I'm supposed to absorb that.
Why don't we stop this already?
Pretty sure I gotta absorb what Akane just said. A contradiction is when something is obviously wrong. There's no contradiction I can't shoot through. We're gonna find out what that is for the sake of everyone's hope. I'll shoot through the contradiction.
That elevator was the only means of travel between the two houses.
No, we gotta pretty much present it right
As
there.
that elevator was broken, your assumption collapses.
Shoot down the white noise for extra
Plus,
time.
the elevator
It was broken at Grape
house.
If the killer cannot return to Strawberry House.
Since I was at Strawberry House at that, there's no question that the following crime is impossible.
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
Or if there was a
Secret passageway.
What the? Alright, I got it.
How much longer?
I pushed like 3 different buttons on accident.
Why don't we stop this already?
So we present this on there's no other way that it could have been possible. Here we go. I got this. I got this,
Elevator
guys.
was the only means of travel between the two houses.
Nope. Yeah!
No, that's wrong.
That's wrong! I have a counter, homie! Counter! It's a fatal counter!
No, there should have been another way to move between the two houses without the elevator.
I think it's the hatch.
Such a method does not exist.
Then why don't we ask the person who actually used that method?
Obviously, we know who to present here. It's Akane. No, let's go to Nagito.
You're the only one! Nagito, you should know. What are you talking about? Don't play dumb. You appeared so suddenly that one time because you used that method, right?
Why are you here? Because I showed up.
There's a secret passage connecting the first floor of Strawberry House to the third floor of Grape House. Isn't that right?
Jeez, once again, I let the reserve course show up. But you're right. There's a door on the floor of the Octagon, which is on the first floor of Strawberry House. After I opened the door and went down, surprise, surprise! I ended up in the Monokuma Archive, which is on the third floor of Grape House.
That's interesting.
Meaning the third floor and the fourth floor are actually connected.
Plus, once you've cleared the final dead room once, you can pass through it as many times as you want.
If they used that secret passage, they could have gone between the two houses as much as they wanted.
Infinity Unlimited Flame!
Whoa! That sounded like some mystic art.
However, what if the killer was unaware of the existence of the final dead room?
There's no way they didn't know.
That is merely an illusion you have fabricated from your own suspicion. If you value your life, you should stop with your scrutiny.
What about the hammer?
There's no way I can stop.
Did you say? Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Okay, Hulk. Oh my god, this guy's tripping balls. Rebuttal showdown. Liar, good night. Killer. Huh? Where's the hammer? I thought they were gonna say something about the hammer. Let's just pay
Even
attention.
if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
This argument exhausting. I gotta use the touchscreen for this. For the most part, I've been using the D-pad to slash, but I gotta be accurate on like the statements he's saying, because a lot of the times, like when I'm pushing the D-pad, it misses the text. I just need to skillfully cut back against his words.
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how
They're turning
frail
too.
I say. Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
Like, bruh, I got him all the way to the corner.
I already proved a secret passage exists. The secret passage was at the Octagon.
Know the limits of your own reasoning.
I was basically gonna say the killer had to have been through the freaking... The killer had to have gone through there, right? Because where did the hammer come from? So obviously the killer had to go through there and get the hammer. What the hell am I supposed to do?
You say the killer went to the Octagon.
Let's just pay attention.
Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to at least pray to the key which dwells in the light.
It probably means try providing the evidence that the killer went to the Octagon. If that's the case, I should have it. The hammer, but I can't present the hammer. The key which dwells in the light that will break through
Know
the
the
wall.
limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the Octagon. Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind confusion, at least pray to the key which dwells in the light.
Try the hammer, but I can't present
Know
it,
the
right?
limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to
Tip
the
over.
Octagon. Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind confusion, at least pray to the key which dwells in the light.
Radio clock.
Know the limits of your own
The
reasoning.
broken doorknob. What?
You say the killer went
Oh,
to
the wire, duh! Like, what the fuck?
You don't want at least pray
Fuck,
to
I
the
fucked
key
up. I
which
wasn't
dwells
supposed to
in
hit
the
that.
light.
You don't hit the statements. You don't slash the statements. You gotta use a specific sword for the statements. So I fucked up when I was slashing them before.
Reasoning. You say the killer went to the Octagon. Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of
Okay.
Allow me to get through those words.
I was so fixated on the hammer. I completely forgot about the wire.
The wire used to string up Nekomaru's body.
I forgot about the wire, homie. My bad. I completely forgot about that wire. I thought the wire was like something else that could have easily been somebody could have brought it with them.
The hammer that looked like the weapon, and the chain on the door in the tower. Those are all the items that weren't in Funhouse. Where did the killer obtain them?
The only place I can think of is the Octagon. There were various weapons and tools there. I'm pretty sure I saw stuff like wires, hammers, and chains too.
James.
Since those items were used in the crime, there's no doubt that the killer went to the Octagon.
I did not think that the wire would be there because I was so like, dude, the hammer, homie. That's all you had to say. They didn't give it to me, but you had to present the wire. I was so confused. I was so fixated on the hammer. That's all I got to say.
If that's the case, they obviously know about the secret passage too, right?
It seems this is the end. Normally, we'd end up listening to Hajime lecture us with a very long summary of the case. But there's no reason to waste any more time on this opening act, so I'm going to end this right now.
Hey, what are you...
First of all, by messing with all the clocks in the building, Gundam tried to lure only Nekomaru.
Wait, hold on, man.
The elevator was probably broken.
I was supposed to be doing this.
Thanks to that, Nekomaru wasn't
What
able
the-
to go to Grape Tower.
Wait.
Which was supposed to be the
Wait,
meeting.
the game's
So he
automatically
tried to
doing
run
that.
Over to Strawberry
I'm not
Tower,
pushing the buttons.
Just like we did when we found out the elevator was broken. Well,
See, I'm
it's
clapping my
obvious
hands. I'm not
like
pushing
that. At that time, We didn't know the two towers were.
He's
the
taking
exact
over
same
my
place.
game.
Also, the button in Strawberry Hall wasn't broken.
He became the
he was
protagonist.
easily able
He's
to
now
enter
taking over the
Strawberry
game.
Tower. But surprise! Gundam was waiting for Nekomaru's
Bro.
arrival.
You can't do this.
Hold on. If Nekomaru didn't go to Strawberry Tower, what would the killer have done then?
Their plan was a balancing act of uncertainties. But even if they failed, they probably wouldn't have minded. They can just greet everyone the next morning as if nothing happened, and come up with a different plan.
And without such a risky plan, they wouldn't have been able to lure him at all.
I'm going to continue summarizing the case, okay? Through this, Gundam successfully lured Nekomaru to Strawberry Tower. There's no way he could fight head-on with the robotic Nekomaru. So by pressing the goodnight button, he rendered Nekomaru powerless without fighting him.
What did you just say? Like, the game just auto-advanced so quick. So by pressing the good night button, he rendered Nekomaru powerless without fighting him.
Hold on! You... What did you just say? That I didn't battle?
What's wrong with that?
Don't mess with me! Don't mess with me! I cannot ignore those words!
Why are you angry all of a sudden?
You fools do not understand! You don't understand at all!
Damn, he went Vegeta mode.
Ha! You make me laugh! After all this time, you still don't understand anything at all!
Dude, he went Vegeta.
I don't understand anything. What does that mean?
It appears I cannot finish just yet.
Whoa, that's what he said to her.
Maybe I'm just a human destined for hell. However, I cannot finish just yet. I cannot finish!
I understand how you feel, dog, but calm down.
What do you intend to do?
It's obvious! I'm going to destroy your illusory assumptions!
Are you saying you still have more? You still have room to argue?
Your words. You said I pressed Nekomaru's goodnight button. However, that button was on the back of Nekomaru's neck. To press it, I'd have to get behind him.
It's not easy to get the drop on Coach Nekomaru.
Unless he activated his trap cord. He played the Dark Davis of Destruction.
It's even more difficult if it's a one-on-one situation.
He summoned the Dark Davis of Destruction.
Just as I thought. Truly frail. Succumbing so easily to this simple argument. It was just a mere illusion. If you want to set me up as the killer, at least surpass your own human limitations.
That's wrong, Gundam. You're the one who's wrong.
Such a wonderful line. However, I cannot say that I'm satisfied. Listen well. I shall teach you 2 tips for making someone admit their defeat. First, you must crush them with your own overwhelming power. And as for the other, you must provide a reason that will persuade that human. You have not fulfilled either of those yet.
What you saying, though? I guess you really don't want to admit it. Then, just as you requested, I will provide an argument that'll leave you no choice but to be so persuaded. Panic talk action, huh? Gotta play some freaking Hatsune Miika. Some Hatsune Dark Deva.
Crushed as David prophesied! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! Show me the cadaver! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David...
Temple
For
down.
the Tanaka Empire!
Am I fucking up? Whoa,
I
fuck
won't
you.
let For the Tanaka Empire!
Fuck yo. Fuck yo, nigga time, nigga.
It's Nekomaru's back. Do you really think I can get behind him so easily?
4 Dark Devas.
This is the end!
This is the end, bitch! It was the 4 Dark Devas of destruction! I summoned Stardust Dragon!
Even if you didn't get behind
Fuck your 4 Dark
you
Devas,
should have been able
nigga!
to press the button on the back of his neck.
Alright.
As long as you have the power of the hamsters you keep with you.
Are you seriously saying he used his hamsters to press the button?
Of course!
On the back
This
of
game is
Nekomaru's neck?
ridiculous, Fuyuhiko! You gotta think ridiculous!
Of course it'd be impossible for a normal hamster, but it would have been possible for Gundams. In fact, we saw that with our very own eyes, right?
Emissary of Evil, in accordance with our ancient contract, the time has come to lend me your aid! Pierce through Supernova Silver Fox Sun D! Sound like it was puckering up a kiss like... I pressed the button! Surely this is the Skyline Lamentation Order of the Demon Mouse. Soon the door of destiny shall open!
Now that you mention it, after Ibuki was killed in the music venue, one of Gundam's hamsters retrieved the piece of wallpaper from the baton lighting, right? Hey, with your friends and their exceptionally smart brains, it must have been possible to secretly get one of them behind Mekamaru and press the button on the back of his neck.
How about it, Gundam?
Gundam Wing. I don't understand. Why would he do it?
Not just myself, but you actually brought up how splendid my subordinates are. I have no recourse but to admit it.
Admit it? Did you say you admit it?
It appears I've obtained a one-way ticket to hell.
Wow.
Fine! Then you must trample me underfoot and advance. Victory can only be built upon a foundation of corpses. You cannot find peace without sacrifice anywhere.
What the? That sounded kind of what Nagito was saying, something like that, right?
Now, trample this life. Trample it as though it were mere trash on the side of the road. Pull the curtain strings of this worthless performance with your own 2 hands.
Closing argument. Wow. I still don't believe this shit. Like, Gundam? The fuck kind of motive would he have? I love this music though. I hate this part, but I love his fucking music. Fuck this. I hate this part. We're just gonna listen to the music. Nah, here we go. Let's get to it. Who set the alarm? The lounge clock's alarm. Damn. The doorknob came off. Nekomaru dangling in mid-air. The hamster pressed it. Alarm set for 5:30 a.m. It's 5 a.m. right now. Nekomaru wakes up. Does he need to sleep? Nekomaru wakes up. Does he need to sleep? That's not it. So let's keep going. Who was in the lounge since early morning? What time did Fuyuhiko see Nekomaru? Alarm set for 5:30. Nekomaru's weakness is the sleep button. We don't have the sleep button. The wire wrapped around Nekomaru's feet. The killer destroyed what after leaving the tower? The doorknob. No, not the doorknob. What was the fake weapon left at the tower? Who gathered at the lounge? Why didn't Nekomaru fall? Because it was moving, right? Who heard the rumbling noises? Damn! Alright, the doorknob. Why didn't... The doorknob came on. Yep, alright, there we go. Who gathered at the lounge? The hamsters pressed it. No. No. What is the fake weapon? The fake weapon was the hammer. We don't have that right now. The killer destroyed what after leaving the tower? He destroyed the fucking elevator shit, right? The button. Nekomaru dangling in air. The wire wrapped around Nekomaru's feet. Does that go here? Does the Nekomaru dangling in air go there? I thought so, I was wrong. Obviously that was wrong. Nekomaru's weakness. Yep, there we go. Alarm set for 5:30. What? Who was in the lounge since early morning? Obviously, Fuyuhiko. Who set the lounge clocks? I think it goes right here. Yep, here we go. I woke up at when you pressed the gray button. The door to Strawberry Hall got destroyed. Kiss the pillar, damn it. Hauling the loop onto the doorknob. Alright, here we go. This is rather easy, but I'm taking my time to make sure I don't fuck up. Because you lose a lot of health in this section of the game. Or this section of the trial. The wire wrapped around Nekomaru's feet. Hung the loop onto the doorknob. Do I press that? Do I press that there? Alright. The killer destroyed what after leaving it? Yep. Obviously, I would say the button. Yep, here we go. We in there. We in there. What was the fake weapon left at the tower? The hammer, but we don't have it right now. I woke up at... Who gathered at the lounge? Just the pillar, damn it. I would assume that he woke up at that time, right? I woke up at... This might be wrong. Who heard the rumbling noise? I would assume I put this there. Alright, cool. The hammer, we know where that goes. Right here. Well, not right there. Right here. A hamster and murder. Who got it at the lounge? Now that I think about it, is Gundam really gonna be executed? Or is it actually gonna be the hamsters? Because they're the ones who pressed the button. If you think about it like that. But whatever. Alarm set for 5:30 a.m. Hamsters and murder. Wrapping the They did what to alarm and they did nothing. They did nothing. They did nothing to the alarm in his chest. That's just there to throw you off. Wrapping the chain around the doorknob. Right, we have 2 more things we need to present. Oh, 3 more things. Alright. Last stock. Who was in the lounge since early morning? Fuyuhiko. Alright, we in there. Here we go.
Here's everything that happened in this case.
Yeah, tell him, Johnny Young Bosch.
Let's first go over the many tricks the killer prepared before they committed the crime.
Bankai! Yes, he has to go Bankai before he tells the truth.
First, they destroyed the contact elevator. This separated Nagito and the others in Strawberry House from our group in Grape House. Next, they lured Nekomaru out by himself by turning back all the clocks in the funhouse by 2 hours. Additionally, in order to secure an alibi, the killer went to the Strawberry House Lounge.
Does that say AT&T? No, Act 1. I thought that said AT&T.
And set the wall clock's alarm to 5:30 a.m. After finishing their preparations, the killer went to Strawberry Tower with the necessary tools in hand.
Well, Nagito already did an abridged version of
They
this.
obtained these tools from the Octagon, which you can enter once you clear the final dead room.
Hey!
This means the killer discovered the secret of the funhouse faster than anybody else.
It's hammer time, bitch. Look at this guy. This is totally the thumbnail. Hammer time.
That secret being, Strawberry House and Grape House are actually the same building.
Looking like Luger.
On the morning of the incident, Nekomaru woke up and headed over to Grape Tower for a specific reason. There, Fuyuhiko, who was at the lounge by coincidence, witnessed Nekomaru. According to Fuyuhiko's testimony, that was around 5 a.m., but by that point, the killer had already messed with our perception of time. In actuality, Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru at 7 a.m. That's also the same time Monokuma Taichi begins. Nekomaru went to Grape Tower to participate in that.
He's walking like a robot. Come on.
Because the contact elevator was broken, Nekomaru was unable to go to Grape Tower. So he decided to try going to Strawberry Tower.
Junpei!
But the killer was waiting for him there.
He said, yo, look at it. They look like fireballs, but they're actually hamsters. That's funny. How can I take this serious, dude? How can I take this serious with the
With
illustrations?
The power of hamsters,
the way they
were
are.
able to press the good night button on the back of Nekomaru's neck. This forced him to enter sleep mode, rendering him immobile. From there, the killer began preparing to use the ultimate weapon. First, they set the alarm in Nekomaru's chest to 7:30 a.m. so he'd wake up.
Whoa.
Then they tied him up with a metal wire, tied the tip of the wire into a loop, and hung it on the doorknob. After leaving Strawberry Tower, the killer then destroyed the door button to Strawberry Hall. They did this to keep us from entering Strawberry Tower, and to keep us from discovering the secret of the building's structure that they used to kill Nekomaru. Then, they used the secret octagon passageway to travel to Grape House. After arriving at Grape Hall, they pressed the button to open the door to the tower.
Tippy tap tap.
When that happened, the elevator-like floor of the tower began descending. And Nekomaru's body was still inside, dangling upside down in midair from the wire. The killer entered Grape Tower to see if their setup was successful. And placed a hammer on the floor to look like the weapon, then wrapped a chain around the back door. This was done to make us falsely believe we couldn't enter the tower from Strawberry Hall.
Act 6. Step, step, step.
With this, the killer finished their setup and tried to go back to their room using the secret passage, so they could craft their alibi when Nekomaru died from the fall. But something unexpected happened. Fuyuhiko, who saw Nekomaru earlier, was still at the lounge. As a result, the killer couldn't return to their room, and with no options available, time ran out. The lounge's wall clock alarm started ringing at 5:30. Well, actually 7:30. To avoid a worst-case scenario, the killer was forced to appear in front of Fuyuhiko with the others. When the wall clock's alarm rang, that was also the same time Nekomaru was waking up. He woke up while he was still hanging upside down, so he couldn't help but sway his body powerfully. Originally, the loop of wire was only supposed to slip off the doorknob, but because there was a heavier load than expected, the doorknob ended up breaking. Nekomaru fell from the 4th floor all the way to the 1st floor.
So he hit his head on the pillar too. Had he like flipped his body around, had he not landed on his head, he might have still been functional, you know? He might have not died had he not hit his head.
He crashed into the pillar, which decapitated him on impact, and died. The sound of Nekomaru's impact echoed throughout the funhouse. However, by this point, the killer's plan was about to fail, thanks to the broken doorknob and Fuyuhiko.
Kazuichi looks like a freaking villain in that picture, dude. Looks like he's about to do some things to Fuyuhiko.
Meaning, the killer is someone who wouldn't have heard the alarm if they were in the deluxe room. They also wouldn't have been able to return to their guest room, because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge. That someone is Gundam Tanaka. I can't think of anyone else but you.
Ha! Look at this. I gotta take a picture of that. Ha! Really? Complete!
Splendid.
And did they want to go to this ditzy music?
That was splendid. For a mere human, you did quite well.
Stop. Stop it already. Stop using weird words to avoid the truth. Or I'll friggin' kill you myself!
I cannot believe it. I just cannot believe.
Does Sonya really like Gundam? We'll find out on the next episode of Dangan Ronpa.